It wasn't pretty, but we got it done. The LA Clippers come out with a 116-113 win against the New Orleans Pelicans. Why was it so much harder than expected, and how did they get it out the mud? Gonna be talking about it all in today's Locked On 3-in-a-Row Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yes, sir. You were locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day, your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA, and in my 20th season as a Clipper fan, been covering the Clippers for 5 years on my own personal YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, and Locked On Clippers now for 3 years. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. And you can also listen to Locked On Clippers wherever you get your podcasts. And Locked On Clippers now has a daily newsletter written by yours truly. LockedOnDaily.com is where you go sign up for that. It really would be helpful and supportive of me if you do. So I'd really appreciate it. LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new Clippers. Free Locked On Clippers newsletter. And this episode, we're going to be talking about this win, how we got it out the mud, who I thought was the standout, and what we can say about this team right now, especially the best three players on it. But this was a tougher game than expected. The New Orleans Pelicans, honestly though, was it? Because the New Orleans Pelicans have been a thorn in our side in the entire 2-1-3 era. Basically, since we got Kawhi, they have been a problem for us. With Zion, without Zion, with Ingram, without Ingram. This game didn't have Zion or Ingram. But they did have some of their other guys that have missed a lot of games that I alluded to last episode. DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones all started alongside a very impressive rookie by the name of Yves Missy, who is the 21st pick in this year's draft. Went to Baylor and is from Belgium. He was very impressive with his 5 blocks. But the New Orleans Pelicans just had an outlier shooting game. This is a team that's bottom 4 in the league in three-point shooting at just 33%, and they were making just about everything to start the game. I mean, extremely hot. They went up 37-31 after the first quarter, so they came out swinging. You know what I mean? They were hitting shots. CJ McCollum was hot. Everybody was knocking down threes, and I think a lot of them weren't even poor defense from us. I think a lot of them were just great offense. But we still could be better given our defensive standard this year, and we did get better. But in the first quarter, they shot 7 for 13 from 3. Right? Trey Murphy had 9 points with 3 threes made. Herb Jones had 9 points with 3 threes made. But I just thought the way we stuck in it, I mean, we were down 14 points in the second quarter, 59-45. The Pels went on an 18-2 run, and they were literally just not missing threes. You know what I mean? And defensively, I mean, we didn't do anything different. As far as matchups, we had Zubats on their center, Missy. Harden and Norm took turns on CJ McCollum. Chris Dunn was guarding DeJounte Murray largely. And then Derrick Jones Jr. was on Trey Murphy for size purposes. And then Norm, as I said, with Harden would switch with Herb Jones and CJ. But one thing I did notice, and I've been pretty complimentary of James Harden's defense the last couple of weeks, but he was awful tonight defensively in this game. Outside of that one interception he had, I mean, he got the corner turned on him so much by CJ McCollum. A lot of times he wasn't even getting into a stance. Like, he wasn't bending his knees or anything. He was just getting the corner turned on him. But offensively, he still was an integral part of our win. Other than that, though, I mean, I don't think our defense was that bad. You still had Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn being super active. Nicolas Batum was excellent all night defensively. And Ivica Zubac is protecting the rim, but they were just hot. Second quarter, they did go up 59-45, but I thought those 2 threes that we made at the end of the first half, they were very big. Chris Dunn was involved in both. One of them, he was a short roll passer. The other one, he hit himself. So even though we were down by as many as 14 in that second quarter, we might have gone down by 15, but that could have been early third quarter. No, it was 14. It was 59-45. That was our largest lead of the game, but we bounced back. You know what I mean? We did not give up. And that's what I love about this team. They have no quit in them. I've only mentioned 2 games this season that it's felt like they've really just mailed it in. That was the Minnesota game at Intuit Dome, and then one of the Rockets games, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think it was. Yeah, it was. I believe it was the one at Houston that I said. Oh, no, it was the Nuggets game. It was the Nuggets game in Denver. So those 2 games are the ones that I think that we basically didn't show up. But after that 3-game losing streak, we've now won 5 out of our last 6 games. This one we won 116, 113. We weathered the storm with those 2 threes late in the second quarter. So then we went, and a lot of them were created because of Norman Powell. He had 15 points in the second quarter, right? He starts getting blitzed, and they start throwing 2 on him when he's coming off of screens, which puts certain guys like Chris Dunn or Zoo, whoever's setting that screen, in those short roll situations. And so we started to get some open looks off of that. But going into halftime down only 6, I thought that was really big in terms of why we won the game, because we weathered the storm and went into the half with momentum, which is always huge. Didn't get off to a very good start in the beginning of the third quarter. I thought James Harden really weathered that storm with some big threes, even though he was turning the ball over a lot. And it felt like every time we did turn the ball over, New Orleans made us pay. But 3 turnovers in the third quarter for James, but 13 points, and he played the entire quarter, was 3 for 4 from the field, and all his shots were threes, and made all 4 of his free throws. And then the score in the third quarter was 31-28 Clippers. So we made it a 3-point game going into the fourth, and then Norman Powell happened. Not just Norman Powell. We had good defense from Nico. We had great defense from Derrick Jones Jr. I posted a tweet where he was literally switching onto everybody on one possession and staying in front of everyone and caused a turnover in the end. That was just amazing. He's been incredible. Chris Dunn had some awesome steals in this game, whether it be just anticipating where a player is going to turn, where a player is going to pass to, where the play is going to go. I mean, he is just so tenacious on that end of the floor, and he's been so consistently great. And that's why guys like Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, who in this game shot a combined 2 for 11 from 3, can still have fantastic games because they both guard. They're part of the reason we got this one out the mud. And moral of the story for me, it doesn't matter how you get wins. You just need to get wins. And it's funny because when we went to halftime down by 6, I had a feeling we weren't going to lose. Because we've made a habit and we've started to build the habit of winning games. Now, if you are a listener from last year, you'll remember that I said we started to make winning a habit. It was just regular for us to win. You know what I'm saying? Because we were just that good when we were playing at our best level. You know what I'm saying? Every little thing that goes into a winning team, we were starting to do when we went on that 26-5 stretch. I wouldn't say we've made winning a habit yet, but we're starting to really just stack up. We're really starting to create separation between 500, our record being 500. We are 19-13 now. I don't know about winning today's game against San Antonio. That's going to be tough. They've been playing good basketball. If we do, 20-13 would be ridiculous going into the new year. But 19-13 or 19-14, regardless of what it is, or of course 20-13, all 3 outcomes, super impressive. We've basically, though, winning games has become regular to us now. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say we go into every game thinking we're going to win, and it's just a habit now. But we're starting to really show that we're a solid team, a good team. The Pelicans have just made losing a habit. That's what they've done. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I knew we were going to win. But Norman Powell, 16 points in the fourth quarter. Going to be talking about just how he was able to take over this game in a 116-113 win for the Clippers, getting it out the mud, showing the grittiness of their team. But coming up, going to be talking about Mr. Addition by Subtraction. I got to tell you a little something about Rocket RX. Today's episode is brought to you by Rocket RX. If you're ready to boost your confidence and take control in the bedroom, Rocket RX has the solution. Imagine feeling more prepared and performing at your best. Rocket RX makes it simple and stress-free. Rocket RX offers FDA-approved treatments for ED at a lower cost than branded alternatives. No more uncomfortable doctor's visits or pharmacy trips. Everything is delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging. With Rocket RX, you'll get trusted care from a real U.S. clinical team. Complete a quick 100% online consultation, and you could get your free prescription today. Visit rocketrx.com to get started now. It only takes 2 minutes. Right now, our listeners can get 40% off your first order when you use code LOCKEDONNBA. That's rocketrx.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for 40% off your first order. Terms and conditions apply. Rocket RX, better sex made simple. All right, Clippers winning this one 116-113. We've now won 5 out of our last 6 games, 3 in a row. We got it out the mud, and you know part of the reason we did is because Norman Powell is playing like an all-star. Yeah, start placing your ballots. Norman Powell is having a better season than Steph Curry right now. He's having a better season than De'Aaron Fox right now. Is he having a better season than John Morant right now? I don't know. The Grizzlies are playing better than us. He's having a better season than Fred VanVleet or Jalen Green right now. He's having a better season than Jamal Murray right now. Norman Powell should be an all-star. And so should James. But Mr. Addition by Subtraction continues to be Mr. Consistent. He's also having a better season than Paul George. That's not really debatable. It's also just funny the little backhanded comments he's made about Paul George. You know, just comments about, you know, this team relative to last year, the way they're playing. And, of course, addition by subtraction being the main one. But 15 points in that fourth quarter, 16 points in that fourth quarter, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, knocking down big threes. I mean, you name it, he's done it. Whether it's that curl coming off to his right, or a pull-up in transition, or a catch-and-shoot 3 in transition, it's his relentless nature and his appetite for scoring that has made him so consistent and so great for this team. That quick trigger. And honestly, you don't need Norman Powell to be such a passer. You know what I mean? He is who he is. He's got the ultimate green light right now, and he's always in attack mode. He never really let the defense off the hook. He had 35 points in this game. 31 of those 35 points coming in quarters 2 and 4. He shot 27 times, which was the same as James Harden and Ivica Zubac combined. He shot 13 for 27 from the field, 4 for 12 from 3, 5 for 6 from the foul line. So 9 for 15 from 2. He was getting downhill, was finishing around the basket, had this beautiful acrobatic reverse layup with the right hand in the first half. But man, what a solid performance by him, to say the least. He's been so great. 24 points a game on his efficiency. And you know, in that second quarter, he was a lot of what propelled us from not going down by too much. We were not hitting. You know, we were turning the ball over. Weren't able to get stops because they were making every shot. But Norm, you know, he was able to consistently provide those buckets to keep us in the game. It's amazing what he's been able to do. It really is. Let's see. As far as our matchups, I already talked about our matchups. Herb Jones, he did a pretty good job face guarding James Harden, making life tough for him and not letting him just get the ball super easily when he didn't start out possessions initiating or when he made a pass. Both bigs were in drop coverage. I think they did a solid job. That Missy guy, he got 5 blocks in the game. He was pretty explosive. 12 points, 9 rebounds for him to go along with 4 assists on 4 for 7 shooting. And our big fella, I'll talk about him a little bit more later, but 20 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists. The guy has just been unbelievable. But Norm Powell, like, I hope more people start talking about him right now. Because what he's doing on a consistent basis is insane. His ability to catch and fire and shoot the ball at the clip that he's shooting threes at. And this is the greatest part about this game. The Pelicans shot 51% from the field and 49% from three and still lost. They shot 79% from the foul line. We shot 78%, so not a big difference. But we went to the line 13 more times. We shot 48% from the field and 35% from three. We shot the exact same amount of threes as them at 37, but they made 18, we made 13. The difference for me was the free throws. Because we turned the ball over 17 times, they turned the ball over 16 times. But we got 14 offensive rebounds to their 6, 7 of those coming from Zoo. But we made 10 more free throws than them and shot 13 more. And James Harden, he made the big free throws to seal the game. When it was a tie game at 112, DeJounte Murray committed a silly foul, giving James Harden a nice New Year's hug. James Harden went to the line and made both free throws. Then we fouled. Yves Missy made 1 out of 2, and then James Harden made free throws again. So we've been able to win several games this season at the line, right? And that was how we lost that Portland game early on. But it feels like it was just that Portland game that we've lost the line. Teams have come to Intuit Dome, but we've talked about the free throw percentage against the wall and all that. They've lost games at the line. So shout out to James Harden making the big free throws to seal this victory, 116 to 113, even when things weren't really going our way. The Pelicans were knocking down threes. We weren't shooting that well. 48% from the field is pretty good. 35 from three, not great. James Harden had 7 turnovers. But we still ended up coming out with the win on the road. A lot of it is because of Norman Powell, Mr. Addition by Subtraction, making that statement look better by the day. And it's been an absolute pleasure. We outscored the Pels 29-23 in the fourth quarter and 60-51 in the second half to come out with a 116-113 win. Coming up, going to talk about the big three as a whole, what Kawhi Leonard is coming back to, and the rest of our team. I got to tell you a little something about Rocket Money. Did Rocket Money help you find any subscriptions you forgot about or that you were paying for twice? That happened to me. I had a few subscriptions that I didn't even realize I was still paying for. You lose track of all these things with all the things that you're subscribed to. And Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances so you don't forget any of the subscriptions that you've made. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. It brings everything together in one place, whether it's subscriptions, your spending habits, or even the goals you want to hit this year. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. All right. So the LA Clippers last season had a big three: James, Paul George, and Kawhi. Going into this season, we had a dynamic duo: James Harden and Kawhi. But now, Kawhi Leonard is essentially coming into a big four. And the reason why I say that is because Norman Powell should be an all-star. James Harden should be an all-star. Zubats won't make the all-star team, but he's playing at an all-star caliber level on most nights with his two-way play. Double-double machine. Great touch around the basket. Playing defense. Rebounding at a high level. Doing everything you want from a third option. A big four. I'm telling you. Does that mean that we're back in the championship discussion if Kawhi is healthy? Honestly, if Kawhi is back to his full self, I think we are. But it depends on Kawhi. And then it comes down to actually performing in the playoffs. But there's no reason to have that discussion until we see Kawhi and see if he can be healthy in a playoff series. I think talking about it for a championship contender starts in round one. I think it's a moot conversation the rest of the season. Because even if Kawhi looks amazing in the regular season, how many are we ever going to get tired of saying, man, if Kawhi is healthy, we can win the championship? Or like, if he can stay healthy, we have a chance. Like, why don't we just wait till we see it in the first round? Because last year we had him healthy in the regular season, and we all kept saying it, and it didn't happen again. But again, I'm not the fan police. I don't care. The point being that it doesn't matter until we see him play at a high level. But I'm saying that he's coming back into a team that you can essentially call a big four right now with the addition of Kawhi. Because, I mean, the way Zoo and Norm have stepped up has been ridiculous. I talked about Norm's stat line. Zoo, 20 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal on 9 for 13 shooting. My only gripe, half of our missed free throws were from him, 2 for 5 from the line. But 9 for 13, I mean, his jump hook was on point yet again. He had 2 jump hooks to begin the game. And, I mean, 36 minutes played. He's consistently getting over 30 minutes this year. He's averaging over 30 minutes for the first time in his career. So it's really great to see that, and he's taking full advantage of it. I'm so proud of Zoo, man. And all those people that were talking about he's not good enough to start and all this over the years, like, what you got to say now? Like, I've taken a lot of L's on this show, but I took a W always standing by Zoo, because what he's been doing this season is amazing. And James Harden has sure helped him in that pick and roll, but a lot of it's also his natural maturation and the coaching staff allowing him to do more. He's been just fantastic. James Harden, even though he turned the ball over a lot and did not play defense, his three-point shooting, his ability to get to the line, his driving and kicking, still we don't get this win without him. 27 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 7 turnovers on 6 for 14 shooting. It was the 3 ball, though, that was falling for him. 5 for 10 from 3, 10 for 12 from the line. So you know what that means? 11-0 when James Harden shoots 10 or more free throws. So, you see what kind of effect it has on the team when he's being aggressive and when he's getting to the line. 11-0. Let's keep that up. But let's talk about some of the other guys, because my point there was just that Kawhi is essentially coming back into a big four. But, talking about championship, I think we just don't even need to talk about that. Let's just let it ride and enjoy the ride and see how Kawhi looks. And if he looks great, let's just say I hope we can have him in the playoffs fully healthy, because, even if we win a series or two, can he stay healthy for the 3rd series, for the 4th series? And those are all conversations that we don't need to have right now, quite frankly. There's so much good stuff happening with this team, and Kawhi coming back is one of them, but what's special is the way we played without him. Let's talk about some of the bench guys. We went 9 deep. Mo Bamba played 8 minutes, and I actually think his performance was on the positive side in this one. He had one sequence where he protected the rim well with a nice shot contest, and then he finished on the other. That would be his only bucket of the game. He was 1 for 1 in 8 minutes, had 2 points and 3 boards. No turnovers, though. And then KPJ, he played 16 minutes, and I thought he was poor. Bad shots, not creating much separation on those shots, like I've said several times. And just the misses sometimes are so annoying because they come on possessions where there's been not one pass made, or there's only been one pass made, and he's dribbling a lot, and everyone's just standing around watching him. He was 2 for 9 in this game, 1 for 2 from 3, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 turnovers, and he only got 16 minutes as a result. Nico got 20 minutes, had a great triple single if I've ever seen one, doing a little bit of everything, playing great defense. 3 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover, shot 1 time, and of course, it was a 3 and made it. I mean, just a little bit of everything from Nico, and he's just such a great guy to have around, and I feel like in the playoffs, he's only going to be used a little bit more. But solid deflections, just the shot contests. They don't go in the stat sheet, but so great. Amir Coffey was on the quieter side in this one. He was the minutes leader off the bench. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds on 1 for 3 shooting, missed his only 3, and was 4 for 4 from the line in 21 minutes. All starters played 32 minutes or more. I thought Chris Dunn was fantastic. I mean, his hands, his anticipation of different different plays. He had a moment in the end of the second quarter where he had 2 straight turnovers forced with his hands, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, a lot of those on the short roll, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers on 3 for 7 shooting. His only thing was he was bad from 3, 1 for 5 from 3, but that's the beauty of a guy like Chris Dunn, is that he's always going to give you the energy, the stuff that doesn't go in the stat sheet, and he still has stuff in the stat sheet. If he's not shooting well from 3, it's really not the end of the world. I thought he was fantastic, and in the third quarter especially. Derrick Jones Jr., he was incredible. Absolutely awesome. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, just 1 turnover. His help defense off ball is a little suspect, but that doesn't make sense. His off ball defense when someone's driving and he's 1 pass away is really good, but when he's not and guys, he's just kind of he loses sight of his man here and there. That's what I'll say. He loses sight of his man, but he does a great job helping off the ball. That's what I was trying to say. He was 5 for 11 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. Did not shoot free throws. But again, another guy that when he's not shooting well from 3, he can still impact the game. And then I already mentioned the big 3. 20-plus points from all of them. Solid shooting percentages from all of them. And just a fantastic overall win when you consider that it wasn't easy. We didn't play amazing. They played very well, but we still got it done. And against 2 former Clippers in Daniel Tice and Brandon Boston, nonetheless. So we will absolutely take that. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod. Subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, and NBA content. I went live directly after the game to talk about it. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you listen on audio and make sure you subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Let's get up to 7,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show everybody what Clipper Nation is all about and increase the noise about the way we've been playing this season. I know national media may not cover it, but your boy's covering it 5 days a week. And also Locked On Clippers daily newsletter. It really helps if you sign up. Please, guys. It's just lockedondaily.com. It's very quick. It's free. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers. 19-13. Talk to you guys tomorrow for a new year of Locked On Clips. Have a very happy and safe New Year's. Go Clippers. Let's beat San Antonio to end the year on the right note. But I'm looking forward to 2025. 2024 was a pretty solid year in Clippers basketball, all things considered. The birth of the Intuit Dome, and that's something we'll never forget. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers.